All right, welcome back to another episode of Beer, Bacon, and Bros. Tonight it's Keith, Chris, and Alex. We're going to jump into some predictions for the AFC North, how we think that the AFC North is going to play out this year. But before we do that, make sure you're subscribing to the channel. It's free to you. It really helps us out a lot. It helps us grow the family. And also drop some comments and some likes. All the likes help us get the videos out there for more people to see, and all the comments, we'll get back to you. So like I said, we're going to jump into the AFC North, the way it went down last year. I believe it was the Bengals in first. Well, the Bengals were in first. The Bengals, Baltimore Ravens in second, Pittsburgh in third, and the Browns coming in at the bottom. So, which is probably how it's going to end up again this year, but we'll see how it plays out. So, but Alex, I know you're a big Steelers fan. I know you were somewhat happy with the draft they did this year. I feel like they went out and they definitely hit on some key points to help make their team improve. So what are your thoughts on how Pittsburgh's going to look this year?
I think Pittsburgh's going to improve this year. It's not going to be a fighting for 500 this year. I think we can easily be 10 wins, possibly 11.
So you're looking at a wild card, potentially winning.
There's a lot going on in the running back world, and Najee's at that perfect time to where if he comes out and has a breakout year like he had his rookie and his sophomore years, I thought, he's going to look really good for negotiations, especially if he does the rookie year stuff. I mean, he was
absolutely, he was great as rookie.
Yeah, we beefed up the offensive line. Defense got beefed up.
Well, and then you went out and traded for Allen Robinson, and George Pickens coming in on his sophomore campaign is looking phenomenal.
Yeah.
So
getting the trade with the Vikings really helped out on the defense. Adding the offensive line and the Georgia lineman we picked up late in the draft is apparently he's already looking phenomenal at camp.
Had nothing but upside.
Yeah. Kenny Pickett's going to be that dude. And it's just really going to come down to whether Matt Canada just simplifies the offense to match the post-bye from last year, where after the bye week, the offense really started clicking. So it's, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Kind of let's keep that same offensive momentum going. I think we're going to do really good, but not going to beat the Bengals. Joey B's just that dude, especially with Jamar Chase and just. The Bengals are those guys at the AFC North. They're going to be the king of the North this year again. Pittsburgh's going to come in second. Baltimore, I feel like Lamar Jackson's just going to not really impress, but if he does, I just don't think he has enough talent or support around him.
Well, they did go out and pick up OBJ. Which they could be a good thing, could be a bad thing.
Which OBJ are we getting here?
Right, are you getting New York Giants OBJ or are you getting Cleveland Browns OBJ?
Yeah.
So,
we know a certain somebody when OBJ went to Cleveland said that they were going to win the Super Bowl, and so things like that. And then Cleveland's just fucking Cleveland. Deshaun Watson came in and replaced Jacoby Brissett when Jacoby Brissett was playing like he should have been the starter and ended up proving he should have stayed the starter.
Probably, yeah.
I don't know if Deshaun's just past his prime now, especially with all the stuff that he had to get past to make it back to the NFL. But I think it's going to be the Bengals, the Steelers, the Ravens, and then the Browns.
Well, going back about Deshaun, he did not play for two full years.
Yeah.
I mean, so I don't know if that had a lot to do with it or if he's
but this
still
is his first year.
If he's still doing all this off the field contribution.
No, he got to partake in training camp last year, didn't he? Wasn't that part of his weird suspension? I swear he did.
He did.
He was in the preseason game.
Yeah, but that's preseason.
Yeah,
he did.
But I was going to make a point of this is his first full training camp back, but it's not. I remember that he actually got to partake in last season's.
He just couldn't play the regular season.
Yeah, that is right.
So it's going to be really interesting to see what he does. All eyes are going to be on him for this because, just the storylines around it, and especially as a quarterback critique of you got Jacoby Brissett who was in the back who did so well last year. Are you going to say now that he's not the guy to let this Deshaun guy come in that hasn't played in so long and a little bit that he did play did not show anything that it was worth riding home? So it's going to be interesting to see what they do. And of course, Brissett's not there, but the fact of Joshua Dobbs is your second.
Well, they got Josh Dobbs, and Chris and I just both realized. Well, I just realized that Kellen Mond is now on that team too, who was in Minnesota for a couple of years, and they drafted Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Kellen, if you've watched any of their preseason, DTR has looked like he should be QB2 on this team, and so Kellen Mond's going to be sitting at home
He's going to be sitting at home again. Yeah, he's going to be back.
He's going to be sitting on the couch watching this NFL season.
But Cleveland did help themselves by going out and getting Elijah Moore. They did trade for Elijah Moore.
Yep.
So they definitely have like a top, let's just say a top two, but a good 1-2 punch at receiver. Nick Chubb's Nick Chubb. They lose Kareem Hunt, but
I'm interested. There's
they did do a couple
Cleveland that I like. Honestly, offensively, I like Cleveland. Jedrick Wills is a really good offensive lineman. Wyatt Teller's a really good offensive lineman.
Njoku's a good tight end.
Njoku's okay. I think Njoku's a little bit overrated in my opinion, but I like the Donovan Peoples-Jones, Elijah Moore, Amari Cooper threesome, Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb has been handcuffed by Kareem Hunt the last couple of years in being that
they split time.
They wanted to split time and keep Chubb healthy. I don't see anyone on this depth now at running back that can do what Kareem Hunt or Nick Chubb can do. So
I've never heard of it.
It's all
will they run Nick into the ground is my biggest concern.
And the question about that too is, how good is this offensive line for them?
It's really, actually, this is probably, now that I've kind of glanced over, this is probably the best.
A good right tackle.
This might be the best offensive line in the division. Like, Baltimore's offensive line definitely went down. Let's act like Cincinnati's ever had a good offensive line.
Yeah.
And then Pittsburgh, I know they have beefed up their offensive line this year,
but it's
still really bad last year.
It's still unknown with the beef up how it's going to work. But
and they don't even have Roger Jones listed at starting left tackle, which give it 2 games, that guy will be starting left tackle for y'all. But I actually think that Cleveland, if I look at it, has the best. Now, the big hole for them is defense, right? You got Myles Garrett, you got Jock, and you got basically Denzel Ward. Those are the 3 quality players on their defense. Grant Delpit has been a disappointment at safety. Greg Newsome has been okay at times. The rest of this defense is just a bunch of names on paper, and so that's going to be their biggest thing.
I'm curious to see the impact Myles Garrett's going to have now that
he doesn't have Clowney opposite of him.
He doesn't have that other threat to where, like, you saw like with Pittsburgh, like when TJ's out there by himself and doesn't have like Cam Hayward, TJ's just got he's got 3 dudes on him at one time,
right?
And they, teams scheme the same way for Myles Garrett. We're not going to get an argument of who's better because everybody knows TJ Watt puts up better stats. But it's the simple argument of now that the other side threat's gone,
right? They don't have to.
Their scheming is going to be fully towards Myles Garrett. So it's going to be interesting to see how he handles that, being the solo guy out there on the line.
Yeah, I'm curious. Zadarius Smith, I recognize his name. He's one of the Smith brothers that played in Green Bay for a while and had some really good seasons in Green Bay here, but had an injury season and 2021 didn't play, and then had 10 sacks last year for Minnesota. So maybe they do have a decent quality player across from Myles Garrett this year, but still nothing. When I look at Pittsburgh, right, nothing as good as what T.J. Watt and now Alex Highsmith are going to be. Alex
Highsmith coming back. Hopefully, he has like an extremely healthy year, because I know last year was a little bit rough for him.
No, he was
low productivity.
He had 14.5 sacks last year.
TJ was the one that got hurt.
No, I know that, but Highsmith, with his low productivity was because of TJ being out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They scheme more towards him.
He only had 38 solo tackles, but 14.5 of them were sacks.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be interesting. It's going to be the same way like when you had was it Bud Dupree?
Yeah.
Obviously with TJ before he ended up tearing his ACL and that weirdest no contact thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see. Hopefully the Steelers' front 7 can stay healthy on the defensive side.
I'm going to tell you, that is going to be interesting to watch, because T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith rushing the quarterback at the same time is going to be interesting.
And honestly, I love to say his name, but you can't sleep on Cam Hayward either, dude. That's a veteran that's been in the league for a very long time. He knows a lot. Yeah, really knows what he's doing. It's you've got 3 guys that can work a lineman.
I'm really interested because Cam Hayward used to play interior defensive tackle. They're moving him to defensive end, and at 6'5", 295, that's a large ass defensive end.
It's a big boy out there.
So you can tell that Pittsburgh really, with this group of unit at defensive end, those tackle, and now the other defensive end,
left and right defensive
they are really playing against the run. They are trying to stop the run through those 3 and then allow the pass rush with T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith.
And then you can't sleep on
Joey Porter Jr. and Fitzpatrick. Yeah,
I was going to say you can't sleep on Fitzpatrick, and you can't sleep on the rookie Joey Porter Jr.
Yeah.
Because they'll scheme to get him to come in there and do some of that stuff too.
I really think the Pittsburgh season is all on their offensive line. how good their offensive line can be will determine how good their season really can be. Because
Well,
you have the tools at wide receiver, you have the tools at running back, you have the guy at quarterback. You clearly have a defense that, if they can stay healthy, is going to be extremely talented. Man, it's really on your offensive line.
Right.
It is really on them. So, because I'm going to say this right now. I think George Pickens finishes the season as the number one receiver on this team. Like, you're going to tell stats-wise, George Pickens is the best receiver on this team.
Oh yeah, he's
I
gonna
think
be.
Deontay's
the
still going
guy.
to get the most targets, though. Deontay's going to get the most targets because Deontay just
They find ways to throw him into the screen game. I agree with you there, but I mean,
yeah, Deontay's going to get the most targets.
he put up 0 touchdowns last year. I think George Pickens has taken over.
I mean, but they didn't have an offensive line. last year.
I'm more surprised by the fact that Levi Wallace is listed in front of Patrick Peterson right now.
On your team?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised by that.
Yeah.
But hey, if Levi's that good, can't be mad at it.
No,
you know?
no. And I think Baltimore is going to be similar the same way, right? Like I said, you can tell Baltimore's offensive line. Now, Tyler Lindrum is a really good pickup for them at center, rookie
Well,
this
that was
year.
a great pickup for them.
But outside of that, I mean, there's nobody on this offensive line that is a proven staple, like somebody that's...
Roddy Stanley's not
He's okay.
horrible.
He's okay.
He's not horrible, but yeah.
But yeah, I'm with
I mean,
you. I
that's-
think the wide receiver game with Rashad Bateman, OBJ, Zay Flowers, like there's names up there, but can they produce? Right? Nelson Aguilar has proven he can't catch a damn thing. He's wide receiver 4 on this team. They're extremely deep at running back. Their 4th running back is Melvin Gordon.
Oh God.
And
That man's fallen from grace.
yeah, he has. But I like this defense for Baltimore. Marlon Humphreys, Kyle Hamilton is extremely talented, 1st-round draft pick from Notre Dame. Rock Ya-Sin was a couple good seasons ago.
Marcus
for the
Williams.
Colts. Patrick Queen, Roquan Smith coming over as well from Chicago. So Baltimore's got some things. I think Cincinnati, what did they go? They went 12-4 last year. Yeah, I could really see this.
Well,
division
yeah, because
being-
they had the one game that because of the
game
Bills
was canceled.
The
Bills
Bills
canceled.
Yeah.
I really see the division being really tight, man. I look at this and think this could be. I mean, this from top to bottom, 1 to 4. This division could be 2 games away from each other.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I definitely think Cincinnati walks away with it, though. I mean, I think they walk away with it. I just think they're too talented offensively to not walk away with it. It's gonna be. I mean, because they're gonna be able to go out and score on anybody. They've proven it over the last 2 years. And when you have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd, you added Irv Smith at tight end. Joe Mixon came back. I mean, you did lose. Who was the other?
Samaje
Perine.
Yeah.
But they got Joe Mixon to come back at a lower contract to help them out. So I mean, they did go out and get Orlando Brown.
Yeah.
To play that left tackle, which is
huge
huge
move for them.
for
Drafting
them.
Jonah Williams as well was huge for them.
Ted Karras at center is going to be really good because last year they beefed up that offensive line and they never got to play together.
Yeah.
So this year going into the regular season, they should be healthy enough to be able to play together.
Yeah, but you're also still talking about a team that lost both their safeties.
They lost Von Miller, or no, the one who went to Carolina. The safety.
Bates. Is that who you're talking about?
Von something. I thought we got the one who came.
Von
back.
Bell.
Yeah, Von
Yeah,
Bell.
Von Bell.
Von Bell
I
came
can't remember where
back.
Bates went. I think he went to Kansas City. But yeah, I mean Trey Hendrickson and Sam Hubbard are decent players, but again, you look at this defense and you're like, is this going to hold up? I think Cincinnati took a step back. I mean, just from a top to bottom perspective, like losing Samaje Perine. You say what you want, Irv Smith Jr. is not as good as Hayden Hurst. Like, that's the truth about it.
He's not a horrible backup. I mean, he's not a horrible person to come in to play that position.
Yeah, but
there's still a decline on the talent level.
I think it's a decline on the talent level. So I don't think it's going to be a walk away, win by 2 games scenario. I think it's going to be right down to the line, possibly even tied, and you're having to go with interdivisional records to see who takes it away. This is going to be the best division of football, in my opinion. Like when you look at these teams on paper.
Outside of Cleveland.
No, I mean I think Cleveland has if this offense performs the way they should on paper, this offense can put up 30 points a game. This defense is going to give up plenty, but
yeah, but I mean they had that very similar offense last year too.
Yeah, I know.
And didn't perform.
Like I said, on paper they should be putting up 30 points a game.
Yeah,
but didn't say they're going to. Just said on paper. Give me Cincinnati. Give me Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cleveland.
That's where I'm leaning to.
But really tight. So really tight. I mean, 2 games top to bottom. So maybe 2 wild cards come out of this. I mean, it could really legitimately happen. Now, I do think the AFC East has a really good chance at pulling a wild card too, but I think there could be too. So, all right, hit us in the comments. Let us know who you think is going to win the AFC North here in 2023. And as always, we appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe.